Cody here with my UFC 101 picks. Gonna do the undercard really fast here. Jesse Lennox, George Soteropoulos, whatever that guy's name is, Ultimate Fighter. Good fighter. I wish he had beaten Danzig, but he did not. Gonna pick Matthew Riddle, Towels Lateless, Tamden McCory, and Aaron Riley. Now to the main card, we got Josh Neer versus Kurt Pellegrino, and really pretty much the only thing I have to go on in this fight is how they both fared against Nate Diaz. And I would say Josh Neer fared much better against Nate Diaz than Pellegrino. So I'm going to pick Josh Neer. Next we got Ricardo Almeida versus Kendall Grove. Not impressed really that much with Kendall Grove. A lot of people cite him as the worst Ultimate Fighter winner ever. He really hasn't done much. It's right up there with him and Danzig. It's real close. Danzig's been an awful loss streak lately, and Kendall Grove, he's starting to make a comeback, but he's back and forth constantly. I'm going with Ricardo Almeida. I'm not too impressed with him either, but I think he'll get the sub here. Johnny Hendricks versus Amir Sadallah. Finally, Sadallah fights after being injured for all those other fights that they had lined up for him. Yay! Get to see Amir fight. The cool thing I want to see out of this fight, I want to see Amir use those. I love those front kicks he uses because they always catch people off guard, and it's always fun to see that. And that's a good tactic against wrestlers who are coming right for you. Instead of your kick coming from the side, it comes from the front to distance yourself away from the guy who's trying to close the distance and take you down. So I like to see Amir Sadallah break those out again, and I think he's going to win this fight. But he has some fun, a little bit awkward stand-up that's interesting to watch, and he's good on his back. So, yeah. And then we got champ Anderson Silva versus Forrest Griffin, non-title fight. Anderson Silva kind of broke into the 205 with that win against James Irvin, and now he's going to fight Forrest Griffin, kind of moving up a little ladder at 205 on his spare time when he's not defending at 185. It just, man, it's crazy. But yeah, it's a hard one to pick, but I mean, you look at Forrest Griffin, he may have a questionable chin. He's taken hits before, he's gone down before, and it makes you wonder, if people like Keith Jardine and Rashad are able to do that, what can Anderson Silva do to him? And you've got to think to yourself, well, he could pretty much light him up if he wants. So for that reason, I am picking Anderson Silva, but I do expect Forrest Griffin to come in with a great game plan, because that's something I think he has the ability to do. He comes up with good game plans. He has good big heart, endurance. He's scrappy as hell. Those are good things, although he's more of a jack of all trades in MMA than a master of one thing. So that's what hurts him, kind of overall. But I think it's going to be a good fight. I hope it's going to be a good fight. I want it to be a good fight. But I'm leaning towards Silva winning. I do think Forrest can pull out. Yeah. And then we got the main event, BJ Penn versus Kenny Florin. For a long time after that whole BJ brought it up, but GSP greasing thing, I was thinking, oh, BJ. And I thought he looked really depressed during that period of, mourning his loss. And I thought he's not going to come back at 155 and do squats. So I was actually kind of leaning towards going with Florian here for a long time. But then I've seen the training camp footage, and I do think BJ Penn will win this fight. He looks great. He just looks in really good shape. And BJ Penn, firing on all cylinders is something you don't want to mess with. And I think he is. So yeah, those are my picks for UFC 101. Hopefully it's a good card. It's pretty much a 2-match card. You get 2 top matches. The rest is kind of so-so. But hopefully those 2 matches, those 2 fights deliver. I'd like to see both of those fights, have a good back and forth war to them instead of one person dominating the other. And they have a good possibility of that happening here. So yeah, gonna be a decent night of fights. I'll talk to you later.